for something completely different.
Hey everybody, Brent back with you. My first video of 2024. Happy New Year to each and every one of you. I hope you had a great holiday season, and I hope that your 2024 is off to a fantastic and a positive start. It's always the typical time of year where most of us, just because the calendar does the heavy lifting for us, where we refocus, we create goals, we look back, we make resolutions, and we hope that they last more than a few weeks or even a few months. I know I am very privy to that cycle and that wash, rinse, repeat type of mentality. But I wanted to make a video, my first video of the year, kind of sharing with you how my mindset is being changed for this year, both in the hobby and in life. And as you saw in the title of this video and in the thumbnail, it's being mindful as opposed to mindful. And what do I mean by that? And before I go any further, I wanted to read to you a excerpt from a article online that I found that kind of explains what I'm going to try to explain to you, especially when it comes to the hobby. So mindful versus mindful, what's the difference? This is where the difference between being mindful and mindful comes in. Being mindful means being aware, present in the moment, and accepting what is happening without judgment. On the other hand, being mindful means being consumed by our thoughts, our memories, and worries about the future. And as simplistic as that may sound, it's also very complex. What do I mean by that? So let's kind of make this hobby specific so this video doesn't go on for too long. I have been, not just this past year, 2023, but in years prior, been very mindful in my collecting scope and habits. What do I mean by that? I mean, I think many of you, some of you can relate to the hunt, the search, the acquisition, the endorphins that come from that, the receiving of the card in the mail, the opening of it, the looking at it, sweet, I got it, and then you move on to the next one. It may not be that instantaneous, but in the grand scheme of things, it kind of is. And when I look back on it, I've unfortunately lost count of how many times that I haven't been appreciative in the moment of what I have. On top of that, I've been very neglectful in what I have had and making time, effort, and a concerted refreshing and recollecting of what I have had in my collection for the past few years. Just pulling out random cards and just looking at them and appreciating them instead of hyper focusing on what could possibly be the next acquisition. I'm going to be making a second video. Actually, I'll be making two more videos. This could end up being a trilogy, so to speak, to start the year, where I kind of talk about how I am resetting, refocusing, and also some struggles that I've had and how I'm combating those. I will make a video here soon about what my collecting goals for 2024 and my hobby goals for the year will be. But I wanted to first just kind of give you what I am doing differently this year to combat being mindful. What I have committed to myself is going forward, any purchase that I make, any card that I acquire, I will take much more of a moment to appreciate what I have just received, and to go as far as saying 5 things I appreciate about this card. And one of them can't be, I'm thankful that I have it, because that's kind of a given. So let me give you an example. And I need to give a shout out to a particular channel that I discovered the other day, and I will put his info right here. Go check it out. He made a video that talked about, and I'm paraphrasing here, just what has your collection been through? And in that video, he talked about especially pre-war, vintage, old stuff, imagining what it's gone through, who's owned it, what did they do to preserve that card. It's been through world wars, it's been through a depression, it's been through, maybe personal tragedies in a family, it's been through multiple moves, maybe across country, maybe around the world, and now it's in your collection, it's preserved, and you have to enjoy it. I think that's a great way of taking a moment to stop and think about what you have more than what you physically have. What I mean by that is when I get a new card, I will stop and think, I am thankful for what this card has gone through, and kind of think about the journey that maybe it's been on and how it's got to my collection. Especially you vintage collectors, sometimes you'll get a card that, the front looks fantastic and you're able to get it at a decent price because somebody wrote their initials on the back, or there's their name, or maybe they crossed out the team that he's on because he got traded. That stuff I kind of like, right? So it kind of makes it more affordable, especially if it presents well on the front, but it also encapsulates a journey. And there was a young boy or girl, a man or a woman, a family, whoever that used to own that took the time to do that. It was in their collection, and they meant enough for them to either, I know Don, Field of Dreams cards, would put the D on his card so his brother would know whose card it was, right? That's fun. I like that. So that kind of stuff makes me pause and think and reflect and be thankful. So that's one of the ways I'm going to be thankful for, because I'm going to be hyper-focusing on pre-war and vintage cards, as I kind of already have, but that's really going to be solely my goal going forward, because I want to really dive into the history of the cards and the game and the personalities that have been a part of this game for over 100 years. So that's the first thing I want to do. But I also want to just take a time to look at maybe the image a little more in depth, the behind the scenes stuff, maybe the stadium, maybe other players. I want to flip the card around and really read the back of the card, right? All of these things. I want to think about maybe the set that it was in. I want to think about the era that card came, maybe the specific year. What was going on in the world around it at that time? So people that owned that card in that particular year, what was going on around them? All of those things make it more than cardboard. And I don't want to make it sound too grandiose. Like, at the end of the day, it is just cardboard. But we love this hobby. So let's love the cardboard that we have in our hands more than just, this is my first acquisition, now on to number 2. Nothing wrong with having goals, as you'll see in a soon to come video. But I want, for me personally, to really not just, I want to walk the talk. I don't want to say I appreciate my collection. I want to really appreciate my collection. So that's how I'm going to be more mindful of what I have. Because being mindful, I'm always thinking about the next thing, or I'm thinking about where I have to be next, or I'm thinking about what I should be doing instead of watching one of your guys' videos. Instead of you watching this video right now, maybe you should be doing something else. That's being mindful. Take a moment, reflect, pause, and be thankful for what you have. Be thankful for who you know because of this hobby. Be thankful for the journey that maybe you've taken. Be thankful that these are cards that maybe when you were younger, I know for me, maybe you didn't have the income, maybe you didn't have the discretionary income or the means to get some of the cards that we have now. Take a moment to think, you know what, I've wanted this card since I was 10 years old. Now I have it. How cool is that, right? So put yourself in your 10-year-old shoes and be thankful kind of vicariously by proxy as to who you would have been at 10 holding that card. So let that childlike wonder be part of your mindfulness as well. So anyways, this is my first video. The next video, I'm going to talk kind of about how not to fall into the trap of wanting that next thing. And there's an actual psychological term that goes to this, and of course I will make it be more hobby specific and relate to this hobby that we love and adore, and it's just goofy. but here we are. So anyways, I wanted to say Happy New Year to each and every one of you. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch me blather on and show cardboard. I'm going on my, I'm in my 4th year of doing this, so here I am. 2023 was quite the reset for me. I changed the name of my channel, which is, you know, in the grand scheme of things, isn't the biggest thing that I did in 2023, but there's a lot of things that caused me to reset, both in the hobby and in my personal life, with my occupation, with my family. A lot of things caused me to step away from the hobby for almost 6 months and then come back recharged, refreshed, renewed with a new kind of mindset as to how I want to approach the hobby and how I wanted to make content. So 2024, I plan to, and I'm kind of going into my goals for 2024, but who cares? I really want to be more connected with you guys. I missed that. 2023, I really didn't have that, and it was purposeful. I needed to step away because my bandwidth was needed elsewhere. But 2024, I really want to get back into the connections with many of you. And I want to comment more on videos and reach out to many of you via text or phone, and hopefully hop on some collaborative, you know, maybe some live stream and stuff like that. That's my goal for 2024 as well, but more to come on that. Anyways, be mindful, not mindful in 2024. And I think we'll all be better if we just simply pause and be thankful for what we have, and not be thinking about what we have to do next, what we have to get next, what we have to accomplish, what we have to check off a box, what task we have to do, what meeting we have to get ready for. Those things are going to happen regardless, but just pause and reflect and just look at your cardboard. It's fun. So I appreciate you all. Thanks so much, and I'll catch you next time.